What's going on, guys? So we are out here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Venetian in one of their huge convention centers talking about the new 2025 model lineup from Jayco. So Jayco invited myself and several other content creators as well as a lot of other folks. This is actually a dealer show to showcase the 2025 model lineup to dealerships and to get them on board with all the changes. There are some pretty cool changes. There are some mild changes. For the most part, I don't think anything is like extraordinarily groundbreaking, but I don't want you just to get my opinion on this, right? There's so many other folks who comment and make these types of videos and make a lot of really great content on RV, and I happen to run into a good friend of mine who I featured several times before.
What's up, guys?
You guys have to know who this is, right? This is Miles. This is a really, really great dude. He worked at a dealership for a while. We did like 9 videos together out there. His channel has exploded, and he is now one of the probably the more reputable RV reviewers that you can find. He made a comment to me when I first met him. He goes, "My videos are like your videos, but an hour long."
Yeah.
And that was kind of what it was.
Kind of was what it was,
you know,
yeah.
It's kind of cool. I think we have the cleaning crew coming on this unit, so we'll probably pivot to this unit.
Yeah, this one just got cleaned up, so
exactly.
There we go.
So the goal of today's video is to get a dual perspective view, honest evaluation, what we both think about these new Jayco fifth wheel travel trailers, redesigned products. There's all new floor plans out here, but at the end of the day, it's just trying to pour information to you, the viewer, so if you decide to go out and shop for an RV, you're more informed. You know what to look for, and you know what different brands are doing in 2025, right?
Definitely, yeah, and it's an exciting time of year. I mean, this is what we really get excited about, and a lot of us haven't even been to this Jayco event before. I know I haven't, so I'm really excited to be here and get a first look at this stuff for y'all. And we, you know, all of us, and JD especially, puts in a lot of effort to get these videos for y'all. So definitely make sure you subscribe to his channel, and we're gonna take a look at this and show you around.
Yep, but before we do that, we're gonna show you something on the outside of this, and I'm gonna get both his opinion and my opinion on what that means. Hang tight, I'll be right back. All right, Miles. What's the first thing I say when I start an RV tour?
Well, you always got to go look at the specs.
Let's look at the numbers.
Yeah, you got to look at the numbers.
All right. So this is an Eagle, which means it's a mid-profile fifth wheel. It should be relatively light. I haven't looked at the numbers on it yet. And some people would argue and say that this is like a half-ton towable thing, but I absolutely, without even looking at the numbers, in my opinion, this is not half-ton towable ever, any day of the week.
And credit to JD. I mean, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I remember when I first started out in the sales world, you got to be careful going to dealerships because salespeople can be a little bit uneducated, especially people that are new into the industry like I was when I met JD, and JD really informed me on understanding things beyond just towing capacity on your truck and the overall total weight of your RV. So things like the hitch weight and payload capacities and stuff like that. And that is where JD is just the man when it comes to understanding this stuff.
Well, it helps inform people too. I mean, the main thing is you just don't want to find yourself in a bad situation because you didn't know what your vehicle was capable of.
Absolutely.
All right, so this is going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of 12,900 pounds. It's going to have a cargo capacity of, where are we at here, 1,922 pounds, and a dry weight of 10,978 pounds. It's going to ride on E-rated 16-inch, probably Goodyear Endurance tires. Now, this is an area that you may or may not know, but did you know that Jayco is one of the few manufacturers that actually includes the weight of full propane tanks in the dry weight of their RV?
I didn't know that. And see, that's where, even as a consumer, as people in the industry, it can be a little tough. That's where, you know, we try to be the best resource we can. And JD, again, just the expert on this stuff. I'm glad you know that.
It's just, sometimes I just have to read a little bit more into this stuff because to be honest with you, when I don't talk about that, a viewer will. Somebody will post a comment and say, did you know this? And then I learn from that. So that's important when you look at units like this, because this has a huge door right here, much larger or taller than your typical propane door. And the reason why is because even though they include 2 30-pound propane cans, this actually can hold a 40-pound propane can. So you can put significantly more propane in here. Now, the math to some people is totally odd when it comes to propane, right? A lot of people are like, hey, if that's a 30-pound propane can, that can should weigh 30 pounds when it's loaded. Not realizing it weighs closer to 65 pounds when it's loaded. So you have to be aware of that.
And then something pointing to this unit as well, I like that Jayco gives you the ability in the Eagle and some of their other fifth wheels to have that 40-pound propane bottle, and you'll see in some of their higher end fifth wheels as well, they'll come standard with the 40-pound bottle, because they make a lot of really good units that can be lived in full-time or do extended camping in where you may want that added propane supply.
Absolutely, and they rate these Eagles as full-time warranty, which is also really nice.
Exactly.
As we come around front, this is going to have the new Space Saver upper deck. You can tell if you see Rhino box on these RVs, that means it has the new upper deck. Are you familiar with them?
Actually, no. I didn't know that.
Okay, so
I know the Rhino pin box, obviously, but...
Yep, if you see the Rhino pin box and you see it on any fifth wheel, it means that fifth wheel is going to have the Space Saver upper deck.
Got it, okay.
So traditionally, the upper deck right here was framed out about 2.5 feet in. So whenever you went into the front closet space, you had to step up to get into the front closet space from the inside. Now, they made it completely flat and they put this huge 6-inch box section right here. So it's not only stiffer and stronger, it gives you more space up in the upper deck area, which is really nice.
See, this is why I have to do videos with JD. I'm telling you, he is the man when it comes to this stuff. He really knows more than most people in this industry. You want to go inside?
Sure. So this is going to be the 321 RSTS. This is going to be a redesigned kitchen. Let's hope they made some big changes to it. All right, so I am going to swing around here, let you quickly see what the interior of this looks like. And we're going to do dual opinions on this thing.
I mean, for me, right away coming in here, the first things I noticed, they have a new sink in here. Looks like furniture, they're going to a lot of these cloth style furniture. So obviously we're going to be curious your thoughts on what you think about that. I personally kind of like them just because they don't have the same, they don't take on heat the same way that like that vinyl material will and stuff like that. And they're not going to get cold in cold weather like that stuff will. But then again, it's cloth, so you also have the stain factor and things like that. So curious your thoughts on that as a viewer, what you think.
So I'm also interested in this change. I think most people have seen the pleather for a while, and that's kind of been the staple of RV furniture. Let's make it look super expensive.
For sure.
The problem I have is I camp, and when I camp and I get to where I'm going, sometimes by the time I'm done setting everything up, I'm hot. And I'm sticky. And the interior has not cooled down enough for me to be comfortable inside. And the last place I want to sit is a pleather couch. I feel like I'm Velcroing myself to it. It's just like, it's nasty.
Or if you take a nap on it or anything like that, like you just wake up stuck to it.
Everyone remembers their first college dorm couch, and that's what it reminds me of. And not only that, you do that enough times, that material starts to flake off and crack. Regardless of who does it, unless they put like a super, super high-end material in. I like the cloth because, first of all, I think it's more comfortable when you first sit in it. I think it transitions from whatever the temperature of the RV is to a comfortable temperature much quicker. But they claimed in the paperwork and the documentation they sent us that this is an easier to clean material as well. I don't know if that's true unless I actually spill something on it and check it out. But I'm actually okay with it. I'm okay with the move to cloth.
I am too, Things like the stain stuff and that, I mean, it always stands to be tested. So I guess time will tell with that. But if you want to move on from that, I mean, I also noticed it looks like they're doing a pretty interesting setup here with the table. On this dining table, looks like you got a couple different things you can do here. I can see it.
It rotates. It's probably locked right now.
That's underneath here, and it looks like it's probably going to slide out and rotate around.
And things like this are becoming more and more common in RVs from different brands. How do I convert from a dinette to a desk to a bar, kind of a buffet area, with the same piece of equipment?
Pretty standard leaf on there, thing we've seen from other RVs. But yeah, I think that just makes sense in an RV. Why would you not give multi-use for this space? And then also looks like it's just mounted to the sidewall here underneath there. So if you did want to take this out and put something else in this space, very easy to do that as well.
A lot of people take this stuff out to put a desk in, but now if this gives you the capability of using it as a desk, then then they've accomplished the task of giving you more function with the same amount of space. I'm on the fence with these. I like the function, but because these plug into the cup holders, I'm more worried about the weight on the side of the cup holder. My theory tells me that if I put like a heavy laptop on here, you see what it's doing to that arm right there? I just feel as if that over time could be an issue. I don't know. I have no way of quantifying that because I've never used it before, but I like the idea if I'm going to be eating like a small meal or something on there. But if I'm going to be doing any work from here, like with my laptop or not desktop, but a laptop, I think I might overweight that at some point.
Yeah, at least you have it though, so you do have it. But overall too, just like the overall feel and aesthetic in here, definitely very, you know, modern still. It's kind of like a modern farmhouse in here, so not a huge lot of changes to the interior. That looks like a different oven that they put in here though. It gives it that nice like residential or I don't know, maybe like commercial style feel. And then no heat vents in the flooring, which I don't remember in 2024 if they had heat vents in the floor, but I know they said something about how they made sure to point out that there's no heat vents in the floor. Yeah, so everything ran through the island there for your heating. And
I have mixed feelings on stuff like that because you know, some manufacturers, like even DRV, they put them in the floor still, and they say because it's the most efficient way to get heat to you. So you battle efficiency versus cosmetics.
You do,
and you know, it's hard to say.
But I've seen a lot of y'all's comments online where you do not like those heat registers in the floor, so
because they get dirty, right?
Yeah. So I get it. I understand.
Yeah. And then again, like you pointed out, this has the GE Profile package, but they've kind of mixed it up a little bit in here. So you got a GE Profile oven stove combo. Then you have a GE Profile residential size microwave, but then you have an Everchill 12 volt, kind of a really cool looking residential-ish refrigerator. So it's kind of a mixture there, but I think it looks really nice. Overall, I don't think there's a huge failure on appliances like there used to be several years ago.
Yeah, no, definitely not. And nice symmetry here. You can see how everything sits in the middle, so you don't have your stove pushed over to one side or the other. I know a lot of people don't like having a stove up against a wall, so you get countertop space on both sides and just looks nice and symmetrical.
Yep. And this is a multi-function sink. So this is the one designed to have all sorts of trays and draining areas, even though they're probably in storage or they haven't put it out here yet.
I think they're in a box underneath the sink there. But yeah, a bunch of stuff you can add in there for sure.
Didn't we have that battle last time? Like you were for single basin sink and I was for dual basin sink?
I'm still for single basin sink.
Yeah, and this is kind of the kind of compromise between the two
for sure.
when you have all the stuff inside of here. But I like it. I do like these sinks. This edge to me feels like you could cut yourself on it though. I'm a little worried about sliding against that edge.
Yeah, it is a little sharp. But this is the first mid-size fifth wheel that I can think of that I've seen this sink in. I've seen it in other full profile fifth wheels, but this is the first mid-size that I've seen that in.
They actually have this in a couple travel trailers too.
Really? Oh wow.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that will be nice.
This is becoming more and more and more and more popular in RVs too. It's a little glass washer. You just put your glass on and it sprays. I do feel like there's an opportunity for the children to just come up to this and push it and then get water up on your ceiling.
That's a good point.
Nice upgraded faucet here with sprayer. Now, let me check to see if they are doing soft closing or slow closing anything. So they're not. I'm not too concerned about that, though.
Yeah, no.
It's a big deal when you see it on RVs, and you're like, hey, it has soft closing cabinets, slow closing drawers. But at the same time, though, they're super expensive.
Yeah,
and if they can reinvest that money in other areas or other upgrades, I'm okay with ditching that stuff.
Yeah. Interesting, they put a doorknob here.
And then they use magnetic bolts.
It's magnets, so don't twist the doorknob. Wow, that's a really tall pantry.
I love... Well, can you guess what I love about this pantry?
I would guess either the lighting or the adjustable shelves.
The adjustable shelves. I was hoping you'd see that.
Yeah, for sure.
I comment on every video that pantries oftentimes they're great concepts, but execution on them stinks because they don't put adjustable shelves.
Right, for sure. Yeah, you got a lot of versatility you can use this space for with being able to move those around.
For sure. You got a nice little area here, which has a perfect spot for a...
coffee station, coffee maker, anything that. So
Ninja, whatever you want to put here. But for me, plug your coffee maker in right here. It's a good spot for it. Got some good storage
too. I'm sure people see this in your island. You got the pop-up little power tower there
with wireless charging on top.
And up here in the kitchen space, you have outlets on both sides of the stove. One's up underneath the cabinet here, and then on that wall.
And a lot of prep space on each side of the stove. It's not hugging a wall.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of windows in here too. Have you noticed that the size of windows Jayco's been putting in their RVs has grown?
Yeah.
Like the windows are huge.
Yeah. And
they really stand out.
This is one of the only mid-size fifth wheels as well with wood framing around the windows too. So again, just a little bit more of a elegant, home-like feel.
Not seeing those gaudy valances running down the side anymore.
And pull-down blackout shades on those too.
With a nice little string.
Yep.
Nice. I like the lighting fixtures too. The lighting, all the fixtures in the ceiling, everything looks nice. Whisper quiet air conditioning system. It's going to be a Coleman Mach system. We have our, and this is going to be, I think, is this the in-command system? I can't remember.
No, this is different than the
Yeah.
in-command system. Yeah, that BM Pro is different than the in-command.
Yeah.
They function in a similar way, but
Yeah, they're very similar though. Overall, at the end of the day, you know, as cool and techy as this stuff is, I'm not a huge fan of it. I prefer buttons and just standard buttons,
Yeah.
you know, in my opinion.
yeah, you let us know down below in the comments what you think, because I think there is lots of different options out there in the industry between manual and you know,
Touchscreen
electronic or
automated,
touchscreen stuff, and everybody has their own ideas on what they like.
True. I like the fact they're using MB Cort speakers. I'll tell you, when I used to be into 12-volt installation way back in the day, MB Cort was synonymous with like super high-end stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that, because I was about to hook up one of my phones to the sound system to test it, because they are, like you said, all new speakers, and they're doing speakers in every room, which is not common.
And in the
especially
bathroom.
In the bathroom, yeah.
Yep. Good size shower. Has a nice, interesting
In fact,
surround.
actually, I'll go in there real quick. I am, with my shoes on, I'm 6'2", so you can get a perspective of this. Oh yeah, this is great. This is like 6'5" up to
easily.
here, and then you could be like 6'7", 6'8" with the skylight. For a mid-size fifth wheel, that is really impressive. So that's nice. And this sits up nice and high, so you don't have to. Sometimes RV manufacturers literally put the shower head like right here.
They do,
which makes no sense to me. So this is a great size shower. Has more of a residential style shower door, and plenty of space here. I mean, can move around great.
Hey, you want to sit on that toilet real quick for me?
Absolutely.
Plenty of leg room. I mean, I'm glad I got someone tall in here. Super tall. You qualify as super tall.
For RV standards, for sure.
For sure, yeah.
Oh, tons
Porcelain
of storage
foot flush toilet.
Yep.
Lots of storage.
Nice. And I'll let you step in here so you can show
Yeah.
the rest of what's going on in there.
I like the drawer down here too, below the cabinets. Just utilizing space that would otherwise be dead. Nice magnetic holds. And a good sized medicine cabinet in here as well, and your Furrion on-demand water heating system.
So one thing I've been showing in a lot of my reviews that I really like to touch on, being 6'2", a lot of people ask me for height measurements for taller people. So right here going into the bedroom, you can see this is probably about 6'3" right there at your lowest point, and then probably about 6'6" or so, maybe 6'5" here to the ceiling in the bedroom.
Isn't that insane? Mid-profile unit that you walk through.
I don't have to duck anywhere.
Foot. Yep.
Yeah, don't have to duck anywhere. And so you just have the slightest little slant down here in the ceiling going towards the front cap. But again, no point in the bedroom do I have to duck anywhere. So
yeah,
that's great.
That is really cool. I'm going to have you in all my videos now. Represent height.
Right.
Again, whisper quiet air conditioning in here.
Speaker in here too.
You got your MB Cort speaker up here also.
Yeah.
And then let's open up some closet space.
Get that light on in there too.
Yeah. You knew exactly where that was, didn't you?
I had to turn one on in another RV already. That's the only reason why.
A lot of room in here. It is prepped for washer and dryer connections also. Good size space.
Yeah. So they did a deeper bed slide in here from what I understand, and you can feel it. I mean, it definitely is.
Sure.
It feels like it goes way far back in there, which is nice, and that opens up the floor space through here. So this almost feels like an opposing slide bedroom with how much floor space you have through here, which is nice.
It is a huge amount of space. It really is, and you can absolutely tell that sticks out further. And I was noticing that with almost all the units, that it looks like they've gotten the slides to go out a little bit further.
For sure.
And I love the actual nightstands. These are nice. I do not like what a lot of manufacturers are doing now, where they're putting them way up here.
Right.
Who wants to lift their hot cup of coffee above their head?
Right. I think it makes sense for a phone, but in any other application, it's not super practical.
Absolutely.
Bedding looks nice. I know they're doing this aloe vera mattress here that is actually a pretty nice mattress.
Yeah.
It's compared to, RV standards. Everybody I know has their own sleeping preferences and whatnot, but you may not actually have to replace your mattress.
And it's still lightweight.
Yeah.
That's a key. So if you can get a comfortable mattress that's lightweight, you don't have to have a 200-pound mattress in here, that's going to be a huge benefit, because all that weight is directly over the back of your truck.
Right. Yeah.
And and 200 pounds here and there really quickly can add up.
Yeah.
Especially when you load the storage area full of stuff.
Right.
This obviously has some more chairs under here.
Yeah, chairs and maybe some bedding, it looks like.
All right. So what do you love about this unit?
We're seeing a lot more, from what I've seen in 2025 so far, we're seeing a lot of different changes to interior colors and stuff like that. Jayco hasn't seemed to change too much, which I'm curious to hear y'all's feedback on that, what you think about this. And when they don't change it, that means they really like what they've created here, and means that you probably really like what they created here as well. And I think it really fits well for what they create. And Jayco is one of those products where it really is a great option if you're wanting to do extended camping as well, or long-term camping, or even living in something full-time with the different stuff that they work into these units and giving you a full-time warranty. And so I really like that as well. And I just think they're a unit I don't get to cover, or I haven't covered as much on my channel, not because I haven't wanted to, I just haven't had the access to them as much. And I'm really excited to be here and show you a lot more stuff, and as JD I'm sure is as well, to show you more stuff going on here.
For sure. Now, my take on it is I like what they're doing with the color tones. I do wish, because they're doing this on some of their travel trailers, I do wish the batten strips up top here were darker. The ceiling looks really sterile to me.
Oh, you know what? I didn't really look up. I definitely feel that though too. It does have kind of like, and the lighting is a very cool tone in here, so it's lacking a little bit of warmth.
Yep. And then this trim right here, I guess you could call it the crown molding, but that also in a dark tone. Jayco has done a great job of setting the trend of mixing lighter tones, neutral tones, and darker tones together in a really cohesive way. But I think in this unit, I would really like to see some darker tones in the ceiling space, just because it would warm up the unit a little bit more.
I can see that for sure as well.
Awesome. Any final thoughts?
No, not necessarily. I mean, I think it's a great unit. They didn't do any bold, drastic changes or anything like that, but there's something to be said for just a tried and true model that just executes on what you need as somebody using it to go out and camp.
Now they do have 30 amp charge controller on here, and they do have solar on the roof of just about everything out here. We didn't determine yet if that was part of an OE included package where you're just going to get it, or if you have to pay for that package. And we don't know what the solar specs are either, so that's the other part. They gave us pricing, MSRP pricing, and we'll have to dig it up for each unit, but I'm almost hesitant to say that because we all know that that's not anywhere near what you're going to pay. And every time I'm like, oh, this unit has an MSRP of $105,000, they're like, I would never pay that much. And that's good news, because you never would pay that much. You'd probably pay more like $75,000 or less for it. So those are all things that you need to keep in mind, because I may not personally put pricing on any of these, only because I don't know specifically what those discounts are going to look like whenever you go to a dealership.
It's a tough situation this time of year, because we are making our efforts to show you this stuff, like being the first person in the world to show you these products that are coming out, but with that comes limited information that we have to work with. So
absolutely.
But it'll be coming out soon, so you'll be seeing them at dealership lots.
Plug your channel.
So my channel is Miles RVs. That's Miles spelled with a Y, and it'll be probably linked down below in the comments or description. I'll also respond to some of y'all's comments down here on this video, so go check that out. And always a pleasure to link up with JD and get to talk to y'all on this channel.
Absolutely, brother. It's been fun. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to both channels, give us both thumbs up. I'm sure he's going to do something with this on his channel, and go check him out. His channel has exploded with growth, and again, super reputable, very credible, and very honest when it comes to RV reviews. We'll talk to you again very soon.